There's no drawback, no flaw with the upper, but that's not where the shoe shines. Where it shines is Hey everyone, and welcome back on the channel. My name is Alex. In today's video we are reviewing the Hoka Tecton X, Hoka's first plated trail running shoe. We already had one plated trail running shoe on the channel. It was the Speedland SL PDX by Speedland. It was very interesting. I really liked the fit, and that boa thing to adjust the fit was really phenomenal. How is this shoe? This is a plated shoe, but this is a special plated shoe because of how the plates are in terms of shape and how they are placed. So very interesting. Let's go directly into the specs. First of all, let me know in the comments, what do you think of the colorway? I must admit I actually quite like it. Not always a huge fan of Hoka's colorways, and here that sort of orange, flame orange, reminds of some seismic type of stuff. Let me know in the comments, do you like it? Specs: 269 grams for my size, US 10.5. I received half a size down. By the way, this shoe was sent to me by Hoka via Running Warehouse in the US. 10.5, 269 grams. This is my Carbon X3, another shoe that I reviewed recently on the channel. There's a link here, upper right hand corner. 267 grams, so only a couple grams difference. There's half a size difference, but the fit is quite similar, so you need to compare fits, and that's comparing apples to apples. The numbers don't always match. Interesting. Very, very lightweight shoe, and the ratio cushion to energy return to weight is something here that Hoka did really well. Durability score. Here we have the ProFly X system. That system refers to a slightly softer upper layer of midsole foam and a slightly firmer lower layer of midsole foam. EVA foams, both are EVA foams, supercritical foams. So the new version, the same we have on the Carbon X3, slightly softer and lighter. Here, very interestingly, it is ranking at 32 on the durability scale, whereas here it was 37, so slightly lower. And indeed, it feels softer, so the numbers correlate with the subjective feelings. If you want to compare numbers, you know the drill, metaengineers.com, shoe super tool. You can go and compare these shoes, add the Mach 4 and any other shoe you want to add to the comparison and see the metrics, Durometer with sizing advice, and so on. Width of the platform, Hoka style, with two main things to mention here. Very, very wide in the midfoot, like very, very wide, and also quite wide in the heel, which is good. It has some security, a feeling of having a wide platform on which you land that provides with a very secure and confident type of ride. So it's good. It doesn't necessarily translate to the fit. So very wide platform. The fit is true to size. So this is half size down for me. I would recommend you to go true to size. Half size then works if you will be using this shoe on, let's say, flat trails or even on roads. We'll come back to that. Stay tuned, because this shoe on roads, there's something to say here. So yeah, true to size, and it's on the sort of medium to narrower side of things in terms of fit. However, two good things. The lacing system, as you can see, goes very, very far up on the toes, and that's a bit weird at the beginning, I must admit, but it's also a good thing because it means that you can loosen it up here at the end, at the TP end, and make it a bit wider in terms of fit, a bit more accommodating. So I think, people with wide fit, if you really, really want to get this shoe, try it and use it, that's maybe a hack that you can use to accommodate your wider fit. Second thing, and very good, many shoes have it, but here it's, I think, quite necessary, the extra eyelet on the eyelet chain to get that runner's knot it will be useful for the lockdown in the heel. Let's come back to that. Let's finish with the specs and the stats. Drop and stack height, 33 in the heel, 29 in the forefoot, 4mm drop, and you remove a couple millimeters for the women's version, so 31, 27 for the women, 29, 33 for the men, 4mm, Hoka Classic 4 to 5mm, pretty much always that with Hoka. And yeah, I mean, you know, I like 4mm drop. I think it is more demanding than some other 4mm shoes on the trails. However, the rocker helps a ton here also to transition quite fast and to have that a bit less aggressive 4mm on the calves than some other shoes. But yeah, 4mm, keep it in mind, especially for longer trail races, especially. The upper, honestly, nothing to write home about. The tongue, I really dig that tongue. It's like Mach 4 type of tongue, which I rate very high. It's only a detail, but you know, those details matters. Gusseted tongue, only half gusseted tongue. The lockdown is actually very good in the forefoot, in the midfoot. A bit of heel movement, to be honest, which didn't bother me too much, but I think it would bother me on some more technical terrains. You know, anything a bit too steep, descents that may be a bit more demanding, that would maybe bother me a bit here in the heel. But again, the runner's knot trick works well. I tried it, and it gives you a bit more heel lockdown. Heel counter, quite stout at the top and a bit more firm here in the lower parts, as you can see. Yeah, comfort good, nothing to write home about. Overall, the upper isn't where the shoe shines. There's no drawback, no flaw with the upper, but that's not where the shoe shines. Where it shines is definitely the midsole and that ProFly X system. Again, ProFly X refers to a system of 2 layers of foam, dual density, slightly lower, slightly softer at the top and a bit firmer at the bottom. Again, 3200 mm scale, which is softer than on the Carbon X3. And here we have the C003 plates. And I'm saying plates because we have 2 of them. Essentially, you have one running like here, and another one parallel to the first one running here. So 2 plates, they're flexible, but at the same time, they provide with that stability. Plates can be used for stability 100%, and that's the case here. So, you know, you have a bit of energy return and a bit of lever effect with those plates, but they're flexible, you know. See how I can bend the shoe? And I cannot really do that, not as much with the Carbon X3. And the Carbon X3 is a full plate, C001 for the reference. That's the numbering of plates with Hoka, running from, you know, heel to toes and taking the full surface footprint of the shoe. I really think Hoka did something great here, both with the midsole, snappy, bouncy, quite soft, not too soft, and those plates working really well on the trails, sort of contouring the terrain and, you know, working nicely. Something too firm, you know, too unflexible, too stiff wouldn't work on the trails, because you need to have something that adapts nicely to the terrain, to the specific demands of the terrain, and those plates do it well. Now, one concern, and that's maybe the only one here, is that while the heel and the midfoot are quite flexible and provide with that nice contouring effect and that nice agility, the forefoot is a bit more stiff. Nothing dramatic, but you can feel it on climbs that may be a bit more steep. You don't have too much flexibility, and you sort of need to push a bit, and that's maybe where I'm a bit skeptical. Something a bit more flexible here in the forefoot, just to adapt more to more steep terrains would be very nice, very welcome. But overall, midsole, I rate this system very high, and not only on the trails, on the roads as well. Yes, going to my local, you know, trails from the house, very easy. And very, very pleasant. Almost to the point where I know this is a performance shoe, marathon, road racing shoe, and this isn't, but I would be tempted to say, Hoka, can you please do something like this here? Because you know how I rated this shoe. Wasn't a big crush, big concerns with the durability, and the plate is too stiff here. Maybe try the C003 plates on the Carbon X4 or 5. I think it would work well, and remove a bit of firmness in the midsole here on the ProFly X system. Do something a bit more like this, because this on the roads is actually really good. So not only a good trail racing shoe, long distance, I suspect we will see it on longer distances, not necessarily UTMB, but you know, maybe some 50Ks, 80Ks, 100Ks on, let's say, not too aggressive, not too demanding terrains. I am not sure this shoe will be raced on very, very technical 100 miles races. I could be absolutely wrong, and I would love to be proven wrong, but this is just my prediction. Outsole, Vibram, Mega Grip outsole. It does a fine job, but that's also one of my sort of concern here. It does a fine job on nothing too technical and nothing too tricky to run on. I think that, you know, muddy conditions, wet conditions, stuff where you need to have a bit more, you know, grip, a bit more of that secure, and use the grip of the outsole also to move forward. This may be a bit on the limit. I think I will be taking this shoe this summer with me to the mountains, and we'll see how it goes, because the Ultra Mont Blanc and some Salomon Phantasm shoes, I think can be very nice for my type of trail running in the mountains. So we shall see, test, compare them this summer. Price point, that's the major drawback for me. Some minor drawbacks in the video that we mentioned. And the price point, $200, 210 euros, if I remember well. Again, Shoe Super Tool, you have all the prices compared there on the website, metaengines.com. It's too much. You know, road running shoes went crazy high. This is $200, 180 euros, or the other way around, I never remember, but this is already a lot, and some road running shoes are even higher. I am not sure this is a clever move. I would see this in the 160 to 180 top ballpark. Here, I struggle a bit. It's a very good shoe. It has everything for it, but we cannot go higher and higher. I know it's inflation times and so on, but you know, I think there are some limits to be accepted by all the manufacturers, and here I think it's just above that limit for the value. But that's, you know, also something that you need to consider with yourself and decide if you think this is worth the price point. Yeah, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review. I hope you enjoyed learning more about this shoe. Let me know in the comments which shoe you would like me to compare it against. I think this would make a nice comparison versus the Ultra Mont Blanc. I will put my review right here on the screen so that you can click and go check that review as well. Some similarities in the drawbacks as well, so it could be very, very interesting. Thanks a lot for watching. Enjoy your run today, enjoy your ride, and go beyond your limits. I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.